what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
As you all know, this school first opened its doors in January of 1865.
I can achieve it. Stop the violence. Save the children. Stop the violence. Save the children. Keep hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, understand, out of your pain comes your passion to do your purpose. Out of your pain comes your passion.
So I want all the girls watching here and now to know that a new day is on the horizon.
Women who fought and sacrificed so much for equality and liberty and justice for all.
What's going on, BSU? BSU.
Welcome to Bowie State University's 2021 Convocation. Our theme for this year, the Black family and social justice, representation, identity, and diversity.
Greetings. I am J. Sean Williams, a senior history education major and brother of the Epsilon Sigma chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I would like to take a brief moment to highlight the accomplishments of Carter G. Woodson, the father of Black history. Carter G. Woodson became the second African American after W.E.B. Du Bois to earn a doctorate degree in history from Harvard University. He founded the Association of Negro Life and History in 1915 to correct the historical record that ignored black people in the nation's history. In 1922, Woodson, a member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, built upon the fraternity's efforts to recognize the African American accomplishments and started what was called Negro Achievement Week. The success of this program was phenomenal, and he realized the necessity to spread it nationwide. Using his association, he launched Negro History Week in 1926. Woodson chose the second week in February in honor of the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. 50 years later, as the country planned its 200th anniversary celebration, scholars and activists noted that African Americans were left out of the story of America, and they wanted to correct this. In 1976, President Gerald Ford officially signed a proclamation designating February as Black History Month. At Bowie State University, we are proud to honor Carter G. Woodson and the legacy of his important work during Spring Convocation and the kickoff to Black History Month. Thank you.
President Bro, it is my esteemed pleasure to announce that since our founding on January 9, 1865, the enrollment at Bowie State University continues to rise. Currently, our enrollment totals are steadily climbing for the spring semester 2021. It is my pleasure to inform you that it is anticipated that by the end of registration, we will once again have reached historic enrollment numbers. At this time, it is my pleasure to recommend that Bowie State University is officially open for the spring 2021 academic semester.
Hello and welcome to our Spring Convocation and Black History Month celebration. We are a few weeks into our semester, and I want to thank the campus community for all that you continue to do to help keep the campus safe by wearing your mask, washing your hands, and practicing social distancing. We continue to work closely with Prince George's County and our public health officials in following the science and data and adhering to our values by using our guiding principle, safety first. We are continuing our first-year hybrid model of education this semester with more upper-class students in experiential programs returning to the in-person learning, remote learning conditions. For those who are teleworking or teaching and learning remotely, I thank you for your continued cooperation and patience until we can safely return to the campus. I hope everyone is staying healthy and safe. Our keynote speaker for this convocation ceremony is the Honorable Angela Alsobrooks and County Executive for Prince George's County. You will hear more about her many achievements when she is introduced later in the program. But I want to acknowledge and thank County Executive Alsobrooks for being a part of this ceremony as we begin another semester at our historic Bowie State University, the first HBCU in the state of Maryland. The Honorable Angela Alsobrooks has been an amazing leader since taking office, and we are so fortunate to have her during these challenging times for our community since the advent of the pandemic and the rising concerns for social justice. I've had the privilege of serving on her forward task force, and I know firsthand about her determination and vigilance in addressing COVID-19 and attending to the well-being of Prince Georgians through these difficult times. We are grateful for her time in joining us for our annual Black History Month celebration and convocation. Thank you to our County Executive Alsobrooks for being part of today's program. In my early tenure at Bowie State University, I posed a simple question as we neared the birthday of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Where are we in achieving his dream for America? Throughout 2020, we have witnessed seemingly endless demonstrations of Americans young and old demanding social justice and equal representation for their fellow citizens. We have seen the pillars of our democracy and voting rights besieged on all sides. And at first glance, it may seem that we are no closer to achieving Dr. King's dream than we were years ago. In fact, many are saying that we have gone backwards in some very important and critical areas. Therefore, we take time to reflect during this Black History Month that we need to see greater change. But I encourage us to remember the words of Frederick Douglass and not lose hope. He once said, If there is no struggle, there is no progress. We live in challenging times, this is true, but we also are living during historic times where progress is being made through the struggle. Just last month, we watched as the first female, first Black, and first Asian American was sworn into office as Vice President of the United States, a graduate of an HBCU. She was sworn in by the first Hispanic and Latina justice of the U.S. Supreme Court. We have also witnessed through this national election the election of the first African American U.S. Senator in Georgia, a graduate of an HBCU. And Georgia also elected its first Jewish senator this year. Even as we see tremendous pushback against societal change, there are chips in the glass ceiling over the heads of our youth. Let us continue the struggle to ensure equal justice, equity for today and tomorrow, and to achieve the dream of the beloved community that Dr. King spoke about many years ago. And let us remember this month the role that Bowie State University and our HBCUs have played in shaping our communities. Our mission in higher education has historically helped to foster the values of a democracy, equality, freedom, and the creation of new knowledge, opening the door to education as a pathway to an engaged citizenry for our democracy. We were founded in 1865 for the education of recently emancipated citizens. As it was then and remains so today, access to education is paramount for the individual to grow and thrive, and for our community and democracy to grow and thrive. In spite of all of the challenges to this point in time, I want to assure you, our Bowie State University campus community, that our university is sound. As we embark on another semester and close out this academic year, we remain focused on our strategic plan, including our top 3 priorities: academic excellence, student success, and the long-term viability of our university. With those priorities, we have seen tremendous growth for academic excellence, including we are advancing in our agenda to graduate students with an entrepreneurial mindset by exposing students to curricular and co-curricular experiences on the campus and in the community through internships, co-op positions, practicums, and through our entrepreneurial concentration within the College of Business, along with the experience afforded as part of the Entrepreneurship Academy. In the summer of this year, we will cut the ribbon on the new building, the building that you see going up on the edge of campus. The ELLC, the Entrepreneurship Living Learning Community, will provide a new living learning environment, bridging learning from the classroom to the residence hall and other spaces supporting creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurial endeavors. There are 3 components: 550 new beds as part of the residence hall, commercial space, and the Entrepreneurship Center, home to the Entrepreneurship Academy and the Bowie Innovation Center. BSU remains a top Maryland university for graduating African Americans with bachelor's degrees in nursing, biology, and computer science and information sciences, with our faculty across disciplines working on cutting-edge research to address current concerns such as COVID-19, sustainability, and social justice. They are also addressing the mental and emotional well-being of our communities. Our liberal arts majors, as well as our business majors and many others at the undergraduate and graduate levels, are engaged in their classes with faculty addressing the issues of today. Our communications, as well as our fine and performing arts faculty, are engaging students across the spectrum of their fields, shining the light on today's current issues through the talent and skills of our students. Our education faculty are producing students to take their place in the classrooms that are rapidly changing with new models for learners. We have realized new partners in the education process, bridging new ideas and strategies to keep our curriculums relevant for all disciplines, students, communities, and the workforce. We appreciate the many partners from government, industry, business, and the not-for-profit sectors who have signed on this year in true partnerships, investing in education here at Bowie State University. As a result of the efforts and leadership and many examples of excellence, BSU is fortunate to realize the largest private gift in its history this academic year. We thank Mackenzie Scott for the $25 million grant donated to Bowie State University as a leadership gift to inspire others to support BSU. Those funds will be used to provide increased scholarships and academic innovation through our endowment. The larger the endowment, the more we can achieve our mission. Other notable partners this year include Truist, Leica Animation Studios, and the Home Free USA Center for Financial Advancement, Google, Amazon through their Amazon Smile program, and Amazon Web Services, Diageo, Millennium, Daily Computers, and many, many more. To fully appreciate the significant achievements realized as the pandemic was emerging, I encourage you to read the recently released annual report for last year. The electronic annual report can be found online on the BSU website. This month, we cherish and celebrate the voices, stories, and histories of African Americans that have lifted up our fellow Americans and shaped our nation. And we give thanks today for the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, ASALH, for continuing the legacy of Carter G. Woodson and setting the theme for this year, the Black family, representation, identity, and diversity, social justice, and the moment. I invite all of you to explore your family's history and its intersection with today's world. I encourage each of you to embrace your own identity as you continue to fight for social justice in all aspects of your lives, seizing this time to create new opportunities for change, embracing the endless possibilities for all Americans as our ancestors have shown in other times of struggle. And I look forward to seeing what we can accomplish this semester and beyond to enrich our campus, workplaces, and our larger community. Welcome to the Bowie State University Spring Convocation as we celebrate Black History Month and a renewed sense of spirit for achieving excellence. We are still racing to excellence as one campus community, united in our mission of providing access and affordability to a quality educational experience. We are Bowie Bold. Again, thank you for joining us today.
Greetings, I am Jalen Alexander Sykes, a senior biology major hailing from the prestigious Prince George's County, Maryland, and I humbly serve as the 28th Mr. Bowie State University. Welcome to the Spring 2021 Convocation. As we rise on this great morning, I want to share that at the eminent Bowie State University, it has always been the epitome of Black excellence since 1865, from our students all the way to our faculty. Since the humble beginnings on the corners of Calvert and Saratoga Street in Baltimore, Maryland, over 154 years ago, BSU has been leading the way in technology, education, science, math, business, arts, communications, and entrepreneurship. As the first week of Black History Month has finally approached, it is pertinent that I share the words of Brother Jesse Owens with you all. We all have dreams. In order to make dreams come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, self-discipline, and effort. Take a minute and think about what Black History Month means to you, such as highlighting the significance of the Pan-African flag colors, red for the blood shed for liberty, black for our very own distinguished race, and green for the abundant natural wealth of the motherland. We encourage all transfer students and those going to the spring semester the best of luck. As one, we are a family. As a university, we are Bowie Bold. Thank you. Now introducing Miss Bowie State University.
Good morning, students, staff, faculty, and the entire Bowie State University family. And again, welcome to the Spring 2020-2021 Convocation. I am Amina Canoe, a senior nursing major hailing from the one and only Prince George's County, Maryland. During the midst of struggle for equality and dignity, historically Black colleges and universities perpetuate Black culture, the improvement of Black community life, and the preparation of the next generation Black leaders, advocates, and world changers. Current HBCU students and graduates have increasingly made significant contributions to the light being shed on social justice awareness and the fight for racial equality. From joining movements such as Black Lives Matter to creating organizations seeking to achieve racial justice for citizens in urban communities, such as the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People and the National Council of Negro Women. Products of HBCUs are always moving towards attaining human rights and working to remove the stigmas attached to race. HBCUs will continue to fight for equal justice and equal funding while fighting against police brutality, oppression, and gentrification. Ultimately, fighting to make the United States represent peace, hope, and equality in America. Happy Black History Month. Thank you.
Greetings, Bulldogs, and welcome to the 2021 Spring Black History Month Convocation. I am Courtney Wells, Senior Criminal Justice Major from Baltimore, Maryland. I humbly serve as Student Government Association President for the 2020-2021 academic year. To our student body, you are brave. The state of our world is in no way what we imagined, but as everything else in our history, we continue to rise. We are here today to celebrate not only our institution, but most importantly, you, us, the students. Entering a new journey is often uncomfortable, but you will soon learn growth and uncomfortability go hand in hand. You have to be willing to tell yourself that you're capable of something you once believed to be difficult. Now, in that same thought, I want you to take a second to think about where we are today and let us never forget what we were years ago. Bowie State University, the first historically Black college in Maryland, started in a small church in Baltimore. We are now living out the vision of our ancestors who struggled but worked diligently to bring us to our destination today. The growth that is upon you here while at Bowie State University allows us to achieve the unattainable. There is room for every unique purpose here at Bowie State. You are here on this earth to make an impact for our families, communities, and future. We may face struggles, but these obstacles will only make you stronger. You are far from alone in this. You will gain friends and family within your peers, professors, and administration. You will acquire dynamic and valuable knowledge in your dreams, goals, and objectives. And most importantly, in the end, you will get closer to the tenacious man or woman that you are meant to be. To the student body, I want to thank you for being brave enough to continue the vision of our founders of our university. Thank you for believing in yourself and allowing yourself to grow. Thank you for ignoring the haters. Thank you for being Bowie bold. Thank you for braving out the storm of COVID-19. Pour into yourself. Use your fears as fuel, never a force. Continue to be brave because Bowie State University is now your home and the world is watching, waiting for you to leave your imprint. Thank you.
Good morning, Bowie State University. My name is Michael Mcgee, and I'm this year's Graduate Student Association President, and I'm a proud student in the College of Education, Department of Counseling Psychology program. I would like to first bring greetings and acknowledgement to Dr. Amita Bro, the president of Bowie State University, and honored guests and all of Bowie State University here on campus. I bring greetings on behalf of Bowie State University Graduate Student Association Board, and we would like to remind you to continuously focus on the boldness that you have inside. Bowie State University has started a marketing campaign that speaks to the core of who we are as individuals, as a university, and as a community. We are bold, and we are making bold moves towards our success in education and the way we serve our community. I challenge you today to focus on your individual boldness and ask yourself, what do bold means? Well, for me, bold. The being bold means the belief in yourself and your abilities. The O stands for the opportunities to reach back and to help others and serve the community. The L stands for the leadership that we present in all areas of our lives. And the D, well, the D stands for determination. To not just start the race to success, but to also finish. The race to boldness is not given to the swift man, nor to the strong, but the one that endures to the end. So in closing, I would like to recite the wonderful words of the marketing team here at Bowie State University. We are taking tomorrow boldly. Our university brand is our identity. It reflects the essence of who we are as a community and our educational experience. It lays the foundation for how we tell our story of excellence and achievement. The Bowie State University community is taking tomorrow boldly. Thank you.
Greetings, Bulldogs. I am Erica Burke, a graduating senior nursing major and the president of the zealous Zeta Delta chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. It is my pleasure to welcome and introduce Miss Angela Alsobrooks, the County Executive of Prince George's County, as the keynote speaker for the Bowie State University Spring 2021 Convocation. The Honorable Angela Alsobrooks knew from an early age that she wanted to give back to the community that raised her and give a voice to those who might not otherwise have one. After graduating with a bachelor's degree in public policy from Duke University and her Juris Doctorate degree from the University of Maryland School of Law, Attorney Alsobrooks began her career as a Prince George's County Assistant State Attorney, eventually becoming the county's first full-time prosecutor assigned to handle domestic violence cases. Throughout her career, she has served in numerous appointed and elected positions. In 2010, the residents of Prince George's County elected Miss Alsobrooks to serve as the county's state attorney, becoming the youngest and the first woman elected to the office. As the county's top law enforcement official, she played a key role in public safety and performed her responsibilities in a firm, fair, and consistent manner. In November 2018, Angela Alsobrooks, a proud lifetime Prince Georgian, became the first woman elected as the 8th county executive for Prince George's County. Also, her administration is committed to providing a world-class education system, safe communities, and a robust economy that creates jobs and opportunities for all. Under her leadership, the county has increased education funding and upgraded technology across government to assure efficient, effective service deliveries to all its residents. She created the Office of Veterans Affairs, the first of its kind in the state, to ensure that 60,000 veterans receive the resources they deserve. Additionally, leading Maryland in job growth for 5 consecutive years, the county has continued to be its economic engine. County Executive Alsobrooks resides in Upper Marlboro with her daughter Alex. She promotes breast cancer awareness and is a member of the First Baptist Church of Glendarding and a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Angela Alsobrooks.
Thank you, Bowie State University, for inviting me to be a part of your convocation. The theme of the Black family is particularly relevant this year as we are presently battling the COVID-19 pandemic. It's why we're meeting virtually and can't get together as we normally would. But this past year, filled with reminders to socially distance and wear masks to protect our immediate families and our community, is proof that we are our brothers and sisters' keeper. Going through this experience together has shown just how connected we are and reminds us that our actions have the potential to impact so many lives. Our people are also connected through our history and our shared experiences. James Baldwin once wrote that people are trapped in history and history is trapped in them. We carry our history with us and there will always be new challenges that we must confront. But because we are so connected, we also hold the potential to change the next generation's experience. Black History Month is so important because it gives us an opportunity to look back to past generations and connect with people whose actions forever change the course of history. We know people like Maryland's own Frederick Douglass, who worked to abolish slavery and fought for universal human rights. We celebrate John Lewis, who looked for good trouble as he fought for our right to vote. But there are also people like Maryland-born activist Pauli Murray, who was told she couldn't attend the University of North Carolina because of the color of her skin. She instead went to Howard Law School, where she came up with the theory that separate but equal violated the 13th and 14th Amendments of the Constitution. This was the argument that was successfully used by Thurgood Marshall in the landmark Brown versus Board of Education case. Later, her gender barred her from attending Harvard University. However, a law review article she would co-write was the basis for the argument that convinced the Supreme Court the Equal Protection Clause should apply to women. Her work altered the future for so many people. There's also the example of Bowie State's own Gwendolyn Britt, who was elected in 2003 to represent Prince George's County in the Maryland State Senate. She was born in 1941, only 3 years after Pauli Murray was denied entry to the University of North Carolina. Dedicating her life to changing the course of history for those who would come after her, Britt got involved in the civil rights movement as a young woman. She joined the Freedom Riders in their fight against Jim Crow laws in the Deep South, and also took part in the sit-in that led to the desegregation of Prince George's County's Glen Echo Park. These recent connections are a reminder that we are also fighting systemic racism as we confront this current pandemic. Over the past summer, millions marched in the largest combined civil rights demonstrations in history to protest police violence against Black people. I joined those residents in the streets as they protested the wrongs that we all witnessed. Scores of people marched for victims they may not have known personally, but they felt the pain all the same. The injustice surrounding the deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Elijah McClain is a painful thread that traces through our community for generations. Even Dr. King, who gave his life to the cause of civil rights, admitted at times to being tired of marching for what should have been mine at birth. That thread runs through my own family history as well. My family fled Seneca, South Carolina back in 1956 after sheriff's deputies shot and killed my great-grandfather, J.C. James, on the 4th of July. That deputy said that if my family didn't leave town, they'd all be killed. That's how my family arrived here in Prince George's County. And that's the history I carried with me as I was the first woman elected to the state's attorney's office and then the county executive's office. It's a part of the history I carried when I created our police reform work group, implementing dozens of their recommendations as we work to make our police department a model for the nation. And it is a part of history that will continue to shape how I look for new ways to create lasting equity across the spectrum for Prince George's residents in areas like education, economics, and healthcare, at a time when we're seeing our residents get sick and die at a higher rate due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm grateful to be able to positively impact so many lives. Your actions have the potential to do the same, and we have recent evidence of this. Young people across the nation carry their history with them as they continued working in their local communities for social change. Many of the millions that marched last summer took their energy to the polls, and I watched with pride a few weeks ago as my friend, Vice President Kamala Harris, made history when she was sworn into office. Important achievements like this continue to chip away at the foundations of inequality in America and change how society looks to future generations. And there is so much more work left to do. We're connected with past generations through the shared history that we carry. We can make life more welcoming for our present community, and we each have the potential to change the course of history for those who will come after us. I ask you, Bowie State students, as you prepare for life after college, to remember how your actions can influence our society. Use the potential within you to create a better future for generations to come. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of the program.
You're broken down and tired of feeling like a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains, walk it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other, yeah. We will rise, so we will rise, oh, we will rise, and we'll rise up, rise like the day, we'll rise up in spite, unafraid. We will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up, we'll rise like the day, we'll rise up, we'll rise unafraid, we'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you.
I want to thank you, Honorable Angela Alsobrook, for an excellent speech. Please accept this plaque as a token of sincere appreciation. Also, we're delighted in having you celebrate Bowie State University's Black History Month Convocation.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Shout out to the illustrious Bowie State University and happy convocation to you. It's like that, y'all. Well, that. It's like that, y'all. Well, that. This song is about being black and beautiful. Embrace it. So let me take this time to inform you of your beauty guns. No matter how hard they try to shake me or persuade me, I ain't never gonna. Listen, you cannot control us with the fame and the wealth. The ultimate hierarchy is having knowledge itself. Hella sophisticated, my skin is melanated, liquid affirmation. Well, it's a beautiful day in the deep, and we to learn my history. We were royal way before 1619. They call it Jubilee. After years of diaspora exploitation, our appreciation, the returns of reparations. You don't lose yourself out there, no wealth is ignorance is bliss. You look in my eyes, you find yourself in the abyss. I ain't trying to be clever, no matter the no whether my blackness don't only matter, my blackness lives on forever. So let me take this time to inform you of your beauty.